The following is a presentation of Santa Monica College.
Welcome to Santa Monica College for Santa Monica College versus Bakersfield. Got a great game. I'm Will Polig, along with my co-host here, Trevor.
Great to be here, Will. It's nice to get this women's basketball season about midway, but great to finally join them. And Santa Monica wins the tip, Will.
Yeah, Killigan with a pass to Great. Ball out, stays with Santa Monica College. Santa Monica's last game against Glendale, they were kind of sloppy. A lot of mistakes ball handling. I think they're going to need to fix that. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, the SMC women losing to Glendale last game. This is they need to get this to get back on track. So looks like the spacing could be a little better right now.
There's Jan with a pass to Truitt. Truitt out to Killigan. Killigan's shot is deflected. Renegades get the rebound.
Nice fast break by the Renegades, get the ball out, but Killigan go ahead with the steal.
Lisa Baker losing that ball to Killigan. Great hustle there. Here's Bree Nelson, who coming off of injury last week, she was doing everything.
Yeah, she definitely is one of the Corsairs' biggest, I don't know if you want to say star players. She's one of the biggest contributors. She's averaging 10.8 points per game, 5 rebounds and 6 assists with 3 steals. Probably your most full stat line out of any of the players.
And there's a foul on Bakersfield. Santa Monica College looks to be aggressive and run kind of fast here. Had a lot of injuries this season.
Yeah, unfortunately, leading scorer and leading rebound getter, if you will, Holloway, she is out with an ankle injury, so it's going to be very interesting to see what the Corsairs do to get into the rhythm.
Nelson sets up, pass to Great, and she lays it in for 2.
I could see the Corsairs really relying on Great today, Will. She's averaging 10.2 points a game, second to Holloway, so she's really going to have to step it up for them to have a chance.
Eliza Baca with the ball. Moving around to low corner, baseline drive. Dishes out. Casey Trevor for 3, and she makes it.
And that was over the fingertips of Nelson. I'm talking about less than an inch.
And there's Bree Nelson trying for the long pass.
Yeah, good D by Bakersfield.
That ball deflected off of Nakia Page. Page is 6 foot forward from Stockdale.
Wow.
Stockdale High. Nelson there to inbound. Gets the ball into Jan.
Ooh.
Jan tries for the inside pass, but is sealed. But it's stolen. Here's Eliza Baca controlling the ball.
Yeah, a little late on the pass, but, it's the beginning of the game. They're just going to have to get all the kinks out.
And another shot from the corner there by Tarver.
Yeah, that's good, too, Will. You don't want her getting too high. You don't want her going 2 for 2 to start the game.
The Corsairs look to set the ball up, set up a play. Nelson moves the ball over to Jan. Jan for 3.
Rainbow off the break.
Off board, rebound, offensive rebound by Santa Monica. Killigan out to Nelson. Nelson with the drive. And called for the carry.
Second chance opportunities are going to be really big today, considering that the Corsairs don't have their leading rebounder, Will.
Yeah, Holloway is on the bench with injury. She'll be back next week. That's 15 points in the bench.
Yeah, 15 points. Not only 15 points, almost 10 rebounds a game. Number 2 in the Western State Southern Conference.
Tarver for 3. Rings out, rebound Santa Monica.
I'll tell you what, Will, the Renegades are definitely not shy from 3 to start the game.
Nelson moves the ball over to Great. Great mid-range shot, good for 2.
Yeah, Great. She's off to a good start. She's going to have to keep it going, Will, if they're going to have a chance today.
Baca moving the ball up. Passes over. Great save by number 24, Nika Page.
Referee's
Page
letting
with
them
the
play.
rebound. And there is a foul. She will go to the line.
Yeah, they're definitely letting them play here, Will. There was, it's debatable that, we got raked on that one right there. But it's early. Corsairs with a 4-3 lead.
Yeah, Glendale's inability to make the shots early at the free throw line kept Santa Monica College in the game. Page is good. And
from the looks of their shot at the free throw line, this Renegade team is not shy about jump shots,
Quick inbound by Jan to Bree Nelson.
Here we go, back to Great. Driving the line. Ooh. Offensive foul, unfortunately, Will.
She had her feet planted. The Renegades look to inbound the ball. Elisa Baca takes the ball up. She finds Tarver. Ball spit out to Rosebrook. Hunt.
SMC doing a really good job of contesting the Renegade shots, Will.
Killigan, ball over to Nelson. Cross pass to Jan. Truitt takes the ball down and throws it away. Ball stolen by Leah Mullen. Passes over to Tarver and drives it in home.
Yeah, 2-on-1s are hard to stop if they're that off on the break. Will.
Great feed there by Nelson. But Great cannot finish, but she will go to the line. Great had a hard time scoring early last week, or in the last game on Wednesday against Glendale.
Well, then that says
she really heated up later in the game.
Okay, well then that's a great thing for right now because she's off to a good start. She's 2 for 2, I believe. She's shooting 2 at the line right now, so maybe off to a quick 6 points. A quick 5 and all of the Corsairs 5 to start, Will.
And we have a couple subs coming in here for Bakersfield. Out goes Rosebrook, Hunt.
It looks like Linda Ramos
Baca
came in.
We have subbed Mackenzie Oldie and Linda Ramos in his subs.
So 1 for 2 from the line for Great, Will, but 5-5, and she's got all the Corsairs points to start right now.
Yeah, she's really stepping up early in this game, unlike last week, but she did heat up there in the second half. For 3.
Man, I will tell you, Will,
Kia Page comes up short.
Paige is not shy about rearing up from 3 or letting her jump shot go at any time. She is ranked 5th in the Western State Southern Conference in points per game with 13.6. So keep an eye out for Paige. She definitely has the green light.
And Tarver as well. She's been taking shots from 3. I think she has 3 shots already. She had 1 beautiful shot.
Not only has she been taking a lot of shots, she's actually 5th in the Western State Southern Conference with a 29.9 3-point percentage.
Jan is being subbed out. And is Ashley Scott for the Corsairs. Scott to Truitt. Out to Killen. Killen for 3. Ooh. Tough shot. Airmail there.
Sometimes hard to get these rainbows to connect, even with rim, Will. They're so high, it's really hard to get them to connect on the bottom half there.
Tarver inbounds to Mullen. Ramos drives in, dribbles back out. Cross over to Tarver. Mullen to Tarver. Tarver drives.
Oh, great D.
Rejected. What they call a foul. I don't know if that didn't really look like a foul to me. Oh, no, they called a jump ball.
Oh, okay, so possession Santa Monica. Yeah, Truitt, Truitt, Great, Nelson, all playing great D to start the game here, Will.
Killen with the ball. Great drives and comes up short.
Good look for Great, about a 4-footer, but just couldn't get it to go.
Rebounded by Page. Drive. Page to short range.
There we go. There's Paige. Definitely not shy about getting her shots off.
Bree Nelson dribbling the ball up. She's playing some tough defense there, pressing her. Nelson gets the ball over to Truitt. Truitt with the shot and the board.
Yeah.
Look at that. The bank is open.
Nice little half jump shot, half hook bank. The Corsairs are going to need those to go down.
Absolutely. Great shot selection. Renegades doing a great job moving the ball around. Rebound there by Truitt.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, Will, Paige, she has 1 great-looking jump shot.
Here comes Nelson. Look for Nelson to start the heat up here. She loses her dribble. Ball over to Killigan. Killigan for 3.
Ooh, yeah,
and it's good.
Nothing but net.
Taste the rainbow.
Taste the rainbow, and that is going to cause the Renegades to call a timeout, Will. It looks like. Full timeout.
Yep. Great job by Santa Monica College to come down and take the lead. Force a timeout there by the Renegades.
Yeah, that was a huge shot, Will. You know what I really like right now? I really like Jamila Great and Bria Nelsons, I like their intensity and their energy defending the perimeter right now. Because when you have Paige, who's damn near leading the conference in points per game, top 5, but still, in a conference with 5 or 6 teams, top 5 in points per game, that's huge right now. So intensity on the defensive perimeter is really nice for the Corsairs right now.
Yeah. What do the Corsairs need to do, though, to really run away with this game? I mean, the turnovers early.
You know what I would maybe look to, with Paige obviously being the Renegades' go-to shooter, I would maybe consider a box and one and maybe face guard her a little bit, because whenever she gets the ball in her hand, she is shooting. So I would maybe put a little bit more focus on Paige. I mean, she probably has 60% of their points right now.
Renegades moving the ball around very well here. Mullen has the ball. Pass over to Ramos. Ramos for 3, and she airmails it. Saved, though. Great effort by Mackenzie Odell.
Number 5.
And Linda Ramos with the basket. Here's Great, driving up. Pressure defense. Had her trapped in the corner, but she gets her the ball to Killigan. Ball over to Nelson. Great ups by Nelson to save that ball in.
Soft hands.
Cross port over to Great. Great finds Truitt. Killigan comes over to help.
Heat check. Ooh!
Great shot for 3. That is 6 points for Killigan.
Yeah, and that's greatly appreciated by this SMC team. 2 for 2. They should look to give her the green light, Will.
Leah Mullen takes a shot for 3. She comes up short, but great hustle rebound by Tarver. And she drives, gets the foul call, but does not get the point, so she'll take 2 from the line.
Yes, Ezra Killigan, really, for not, making herself known too much while Holloway's been, getting all the spotlight, really, really making a difference on this game early on here.
Watching her practice, she is very fast. She has one thing, and that's speed.
A little speedster. Yeah, the interesting also, we've been talking about how Paige has had the green light from 3 and her mid-range jumper. She was just calling for the ball down the block. So she is multi-tooled, if not, 5-tool or whatever.
Paige will sit for a few minutes. Santa Monica College holds a 13-11 lead. Great from 3. She comes up short. Moving the ball up is Mullen. Crossover to Tarver. Back to Mullen at the top. Ramos with the drive. What a take by Ramos.
Yeah, she's got a great feel for the ball. She knocked in that jumper, I think 2 possessions ago, and once again, that little half hook, half jumper, so just muscle memory, Will. They've done it so many times. They know what they're doing depending on wherever they are on the court,
And Jan will re-enter the game for Nelson, and Truitt will sit. Also in the game for Santa Monica College is number 32, Morgan Delgado.
Little full court press by the Renegades here, Will, but SMC is cutting it up like a 5-pack of surgeons.
Jan for 3.
Ooh.
Rims off. Yeah, and that was the big problem against Glendale, is they would do the pressure full court press.
And the one and dones like you were saying earlier, right, Will?
They did have a fair amount of one and dones, but it was just getting the ball up the court, turnover after turnover. It was hard to defend, so maybe Bakersfield saw the game footage, and that's what they're trying to incorporate. Here's Killigan with the ball at the shoulder. Finds Jan underneath in the low post.
Jump ball.
And we got a jump ball. Ramos, great awareness to get her hand and grab that ball.
Yeah, I really like the way Killigan is really moving the ball and getting the flow of this offense going, Will. It's something that maybe SMC hadn't seen as much, with, straight up go-to star like Holloway, who isn't playing today.
Mackenzie Odell will be subbed back in for Paige. Mullen taking the ball down court. She feeds over to Ramos. Ramos back to Mullen. Giselle Flores is also in the game, number 34, down low. Mullen fakes the shot, drives.
Was it a walk? Yep.
And a travel.
Yeah, that's Lena Mullen on the travel, Will. Just one too many steps right there.
Jan will sit, and back comes in Nelson. Nelson's ankle looks like it's really holding up well.
Yeah, and I don't know if you mentioned it, but it looks like Paige is back on the floor, so you got to keep your eyes on her. Oh, yep, looks like she might have been out of bounds.
Long pass by Scott.
You know what? She might have been out of bounds, Will, but this full court press does seem to be giving the Corsairs a little bit of trouble. I don't know if they weren't expecting it, but the passes that they've used to get the ball into the front court, they've been arguably lucky.
How do you feel about those long passes? Like, I'm not a big fan of long passes.
I'm not a big fan of long passes either, and especially at the high trajectory that these are coming in at. I mean, it's given the defense all day to intercept it.
Killigan looks to shoot, but she pulls back. Drives the ball. Great feed.
Great little
over to Scott, but then Scott travels. And a big issue that they had against Glendale is positioning on this, not knowing where you are on the court. A couple times a foot winds up on the line. So here's Ramos for the inbound. She'll inbound across court.
And it looks like the Corsairs will try to give the Renegades a little bit of their own medicine with a little bit of front court press, back court press.
Ramos finds Flores. Flores over to Page for the basket.
And the Renegades couldn't have ran that full court press break any easier. They got it all the way down to Page in the front court, and it was a layup at that point. So,
yeah, these lazy passes by Scott aren't going to work. She really needs to put a little bit more oomph into her passes.
She does.
And rebounded there.
Leela Mullen,
yes. Oh, almost travels but not called. Ramos pivots back out. And that is good for 2 by Rosenbook Hunt.
And with that, the Renegades...
And stolen, almost stolen. Great effort by Hunt. Almost into the first row of the bleachers here.
Very close. And, the Renegades up to a 4-point lead, Will. SMC is going to really have to, try to lock it down and prevent that from going up to 8 to 10 points. So that's going to be very interesting to see here in the first half.
Nelson inbounds to Scott. Scott over to Killican. To Jan. Nelson tries to drive, looking for position, gets in, shoots up a mid-range, rebounded by Jan. And what ball movement, great rebound, basket by Delgado.
Yeah, they needed that, Will.
Corsairs cut this to a 2-point game. Flores airmails that. She was looking for Tarver in the corner.
That's exactly what SMC needs right now, Will. We need to force turnovers. We need to get easy baskets. Keep this first half really close and try to get to the end of this first half a little bit of a lead. That would really, really help.
Mm-hmm. Very good insight.
Yeah, like you said, Will, these long passes are making me a little nervous.
Nice feed to Jan, and Jan will go to the line. She was hot from the line on Wednesday night.
Okay, good.
Let's hope that she continues that streak here.
One thing that you have to cash in, Will, in close games, you know more than anybody, you cannot let the free throws go below 60, 70%.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can keep it 80% or higher, then you're looking real good. So that's going to be real important right here.
So true. Like, you have to make your free opportunities. And that one rims out. That's a tough miss.
Little spinner, barely spun out of the rim right there. With a guard like like her, though, usually if you miss the first one, she should be good on the second. Yep, and there we go. Good on the second.
Mackenzie Otto checks into the game. Flores with the ball, dribbling it up. Scott coming from behind. Jan dribbling it, and the ball is almost stolen by Santa Monica, but Bakersfield pulls it out. Here's Page from the line, misses.
A rare miss they have to take advantage of right here, Will.
Jan with the defensive rebound. Gets the ball to Nelson. Nelson drives, circles. Finds John from top of the arc. She gets down to Great with the drive. Cannot finish, but great rebound by Delgado for the finish and the put away.
Huge.
Great play by Delgado, and Santa Monica College takes an 18-17 lead. Page gets the ball over to Tarver. Tarver up to Flores.
Nice D.
Great defense there by Nelson. Flores for 3, hits the side of the rim and rebounded by Delgado.
Great defensive rebound in the last few minutes by SMC, Will.
Lazy pass by Delgado to Scott, and that is picked off by Odell. Odell over to Tarver at the top of the arch. She finds Flores. Flores with a lazy pass of her own, stolen by Delgado. Ball up to to Scott. Scott driving in, takes it.
Oh, no foul call.
See, I don't like that play. You got to wait for your help. If it's not there, it's not there. You got to pull that back out and set up.
Ooh,
and there's a foul by Nelson.
Very bad foul. I think she's shooting 3.
Was it 3? I kind of thought it was she was behind the line.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Nelson, that's her first personal, 4th team foul. Time out on the floor.
Well, great action so far. Close game, 18-17, several lead changes.
Yeah, and one thing that I've seen, Will, Flores has been handling the ball a little bit more often than I think SMC would have expected her to, and they're really letting her run free with the ball. Here's the thing, though. When she's handling the ball, I'm not crazy sold on how great of a ball handler she is. I mean, any little slight bit of pressure, and she really starts, breaking up her dribble, and she coughs it up, So if I were the coach, what I would do is whenever Flores is, controlling the ball on the perimeter, I don't know if I would double team her, but I would get all up on her because I don't know if she has the speed to get around a one-on-one press.
And she's making lazy passes.
Yeah.
A couple lazy passes, she airmailed one out of bounds.
Yeah.
So, her accuracy isn't all there.
Yeah, and surprisingly for SMC, luckily for SMC, we haven't seen Paige in the last few minutes, at least from a scoring standpoint. We haven't seen, any low post, any perimeter, any three-point shooting, because she opened up the game with some really nice three-point shooting. So got to really keep her in check.
Can you fill us some water for me? Water. Yeah. Here. Hey, man.
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Here, bro. Thanks, man.
Thank you. All right, so we're back to action here in Santa Monica College. We have Bakersfield Renegades against the Santa Monica College Corsairs. Corsairs hold an 18-17 lead with 8:51 remaining in the first half. Fouls were a big problem early in the first half of Wednesday night's game. I believe both teams were in the bonus. And 16 minutes into the half.
Okay, well, and though Renegades have been to the line a handful of times, it's not necessarily noticeable as a problem up to this point. But there's 9 minutes left in this half, and if they get to the line, maybe 5 or 6 more times, then it definitely will be a problem. So we're gonna definitely have to keep our eyes on that, Will.
She is shooting 3 here. Tarver is 1 for 2 on these opportunities.
Yeah, really good looking shot.
She makes 2 out of 3 to give Bakersfield a 19-18 lead over Santa Monica College with 8:46 remaining. Here's Scott handling the ball. She finds Nelson. Nelson drives and fouled and almost gets hit for the and one, but it does not drop.
Yeah, really
so she
good
will
try.
Shoot 2 from the line.
Really good try from Nelson right there, Will.
Nelson is a very good free throw shooter here.
Being, the starting point guard, you would expect her to have arguably the highest free throw percentage on the entire team, Will. She rims the first one off, but like we said about our previous shooter for SMC, being a guard, you would expect her to at least hit the second one.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna miss here and there, but you want a lot more 2 for 2s than 1 for 2s.
Absolutely.
But they take 1 for 2 over 0 for 2.
Absolutely.
Nelson follows through. She misses both of them.
And like we were talking about earlier, Will, you can't let the free opportunities get away from you, especially from the guard position.
Spoken like a true expert. Baca's back in the game. She moves the ball over to Mullen. Baca handles, finds Tarver. Hunt with possession. Hunt shoots a mid-range shot. Airmails it.
There we go. Great fast
Rebound
break.
great. Up the Scott. Ashley Scott driving with a take. Rims out.
No foul call. Very close there, Will.
Again, she's running with 2 players on her with no help. I don't understand why she doesn't roll it out and set it up and wait for the help.
The refs are definitely letting them play, but I agree with you. I would definitely pull that out.
Mullen takes a look at 3 and drives in. She is fouled. Should be heading to the line.
So here we go. Here we go with our issue with the free throws for the Renegades. Well, we're going to have to keep an eye on that. That's back-to-back trips to the line and two straight possessions. So
that's 5. That's 5 fouls now for Santa Monica College. 1 more foul, and that'll put Bakersfield in the bonus.
Yeah, and we have 8 minutes left. Being in the bonus with 7 or 8 minutes, that's usually not a great thing. 3 to 5 minutes, that's one thing, but get upwards of 7, 8 minutes, not a great thing at all.
20-18, 7:58 remaining in the first half. Mullen from the line. She made the first. She shoots the second. She goes 1 for 2 in those opportunities. Delgado with the rebound. Moves the ball up to Jan. Crosses up to Ashley.
Real sneaky 3/4 court press from Renegades, Will.
Here's Nelson, moves over. Yeah, Jan fakes a shot for 3. She drives in, passes to Nelson at the top. And Nelson with a rare turnover there. And here's Tarver.
Ooh.
Misses the easy layup.
Yeah, probably the easiest shot of the game so far, Will.
And Jan moves the ball up to Scott. Scott finds Jan underneath. Jan makes it and 1. Great effort there by Jan.
Great and one conversion right there, Will. Pretty much a no-look spinning 180, you know?
Shannon Jan is a beast for those offensive rebounds inside the paint. She can hit the three. She really is a five-tool player, to steal a term from baseball.
That's awesome. Let's see if she can knock down this first one, something she was not able to do last time at the line. There we go.
And Santa Monica College jumps out to a 1-point lead. Baca has the ball, rebounds, pass out to Hunt. Hunt takes back out, back to Baca. Baca over the Mullen. Mullen back to Baca. Tried to hit it Hunt on the inside, but the ball gets away. And it's a turnover to Santa Monica. Ramos checks back into the game for Baca. Ramos had a couple of good takes earlier in this game.
She did, and she has real soft hands, and she has a real knack for putting the perfect amount of pressure on the ball to get it to go, you know? So starting off in that sneaky three-quarter court press, see if they'll keep it, or sometimes they flash it, Will, and they bring it back as soon as depending on what the SMC does. So interesting to see where this full court, three-quarter court press is going to go from here on.
And there's Scott, and she misses it, but it is a rebound by Great. Can't get it. Delgado pulls it out. Can't get up a shot, but gets it reset to Nelson. Nelson Neon for three. She is fouled.
Fouled from behind the arc. It's going to be very interesting to see if she can knock down all three. She's gone 1 for 2, 1 for 1. Now we'll see if she can go 3 for 3, Will.
And that puts Bakersfield over the bonus line. That is their 6th foul, so Santa Monica from here on out will shoot on every foul.
Wow, so that was offensive. That is very interesting, Will, especially putting us in the bonus. Whenever you have an offensive foul that leads to free throws, looks like that's going to be the case, following this foul. But, yeah, definitely not a good way to get into the bonus.
Both teams now playing in the bonus. We will shoot. Rest of the fouls moving forward in 1-for-1s. Ball's crossed over to Hunt. Hunt finds Mullen. There's Page, spin around, shoot. Beautiful little 16-footer there.
And that's why she's top 5 in the conference in scoring, Will. That was a beautiful little turnaround jumper.
And what's she averaging this year?
Right now, she's number 5 in the Western State Southern Conference with 13.6 points per game. Now, unfortunately, SMC's second overall points per game ranker, Holloway, like we've mentioned before, she's going to be out today, hopefully back next game with an ankle injury.
She's hoping to be back next Wednesday night.
Hopefully. We'll have to cross our fingers. Page one-on-one.
The next Wednesday night game is against Antelope Valley at Antelope Valley at 5 p.m. on January the 22nd.
Will, I really like the way that Nelson is running the break. She's really just, like a...
Great shot by Great there.
Like a maestro.
Ashley Scott finding her right in the seam. Santa Monica looks like they're starting to pressure D a little bit. Page,
there she is again, man.
She's right over Delgado.
She's in that sweet spot, and there's about 5 minutes left. You can't let her reel off 10 points right here at the end of the quarter or the end of the half. That would really kill Corsairs' chances right now. There's a steal at half court.
Great effort there by Hunt. And she'll shoot for 2, get her own rebound, take it back up, blocked, and take it by Jan. Ball up to Great. Great takes it, and she can't finish because she gets her own rebound. Finds Jan from beyond the arc. Jan comes up short, and that will be a turnover.
5 minutes left in the half, Will. There has been a decent amount of time gone by so far. You really hope that their legs are still with them in this first half, because that was a complete air ball, and a lot of times the legs have a lot to do with that.
Yeah, I was talking to the coach a couple weeks ago, and that was one of the big conversations we have is it's hard to play good basketball when your legs are tired.
Yeah, right on.
The ball's in to Ramos. Great ball movement. Ball's over to Otto. And turned over to Delgado. Delgado finds Bree Nelson. Killican has checked into the game for Jan. Great move by Delgado, but she loses the handle.
And she had Killican wide open on the 3, and she did go 2 for 2 to start the game, Will. So very interesting to see, how the Corsairs are going to really direct the ball.
And those are 2 for 2 beyond the arc. Mullen has the ball. Tarver set, passes into Page in the low post. Page spin and shoots. Rebounded by Odell. For Tarver for 3, rims off, and a rebound by Mullen. Mullen gets her own rebound and puts it back in.
I mean, I don't know most teams that wouldn't score with 4 opportunities. You know, Will?
Well, it's those second opportunities that kill teams. You know, if you have to get the defensive rebound, like offensive rebounds kill teams.
Rebounds are huge, man. I mean, just look at the 2010 NBA Finals. Game 7, Lakers, you know, Kobe had one of the worst games of his career, 25%, but had almost 20 rebounds and they beat the Celtics. It's all about rebounds a lot of the time, Will.
I knew you were going to go Lakers with me there. Nelson sets up the play. Crossover, finds Killican for 3. Killican shoots it.
Oof, really close. Here we go, Paige on the break.
Great defense by Nelson to slow her down, to steal the ball and knock it out, but it will stay with the Renegades. Great effort on D.
Great effort by Nelson, great energy by Nelson. Great to still see that they have that, you know, so far in this first half, Will.
4:13 remaining in the first half. Your play-by-play man, Will Polick.
Here with Trevor Angoni.
Mullen moves the ball over to Tarver. Tarver inside of Page, back out to Mullen. Mullen for 3.
Ooh.
And you're going to make that all day when you have nobody stepping up to cover you.
Yeah, if you don't have someone within 5 or 10 feet, then and you're giving these, you know, college players a wide open shot, they should hit that shot.
Killigan to great, and she puts it in.
Great assist by Killican.
Way to not be selfish and to find the open player, and great job to finish. She's been having a hard time as late her past couple baskets, and a great rebound. Here comes Scott up. Scott finds Nelson. Nelson drives. And gets called for a travel. Looks like she caught an elbow or two, perhaps, on her way through.
As she adjusts her headband after being knocked in the head, but you know, they'll call the travel on that, Will.
3:24 left. Jan will sub back in. She'll come in for Bree Nelson, who looks a little limp, but I'm sure she'll be fine.
And we're in that weird zone again, Will, where we're down by 4 with a few minutes left. Corsairs can't let this 4-point lead for the Renegades get up to 8 or 10. You know, that's really what they cannot afford to do that.
Yeah, they're in a pretty good spot, though, with a 2-possession game. Ramos over. Page fakes the shot, drives in, takes a mid-range shot, and she's good for 2. 31-25 with 3 minutes remaining in the first half in favor of the Renegades. Scott is being pressured. They got the trap on her, and she throws the ball away. That is taken by Tarver up to Odell, who finds Page. And Page is called for the travel.
Called for the bunny hop, Will. Yeah, she took one too many little hops right there as she approached the basket, and that was huge, Will, because that was a 3-on-1, and that would have pushed the lead to 8. So that's a huge call right there.
It's so funny how basketball can swing in so many different ways. Like one basket can swing it to another basket. That's a 4-point switch.
And the scoring happens so rapidly, you know?
Killican turns the ball over to Hunt, and then Hunt throws it away trying to find Ramos on the shoulder.
Another big mistake. Well, they could have pushed it to 8. They threw it away, so now we have a chance to cut it to 4, maybe even 3.
And Santa Monica does have some shooters.
Looks like
Bree Nelson checks back in the game.
Looks like Killican's going to the bench, but I know she's one of the 3-point shooters that the Corsairs would like to get open on the edge right there.
Delgado handles ball. Great passes over to Nelson. Finds Jan in the corner. Jan for 3, and it is good. What a shot by Shannon Jan.
That was straight string music, Will. That didn't come within 2 or 3 inches of touching the rim on either side.
Ball moving over to Flores. Back to Mullen from behind the line. She'll shoot 3, and she will make 3.
Yep, huge response.
So the Renegades respond with a 3 of their own.
And you know, Will, at the beginning of the game, they got Great involved, and they were doing really, really well. I haven't seen Great do much the last few minutes. I really think they need to get her involved.
Here's Jean for 3, and that'll rim out. Great effort to get that rebound, but there's too many numbers underneath.
A little heat check for Vaughn. You know, that's something that we don't mind seeing, but you definitely want to see, above all, good ball movement.
And there's Mullen for a 3 again.
Yeah, Will, back-to-back threes. That's a killer right there. With a minute and a half left and up by 9 for the Renegades, SMC needs to respond right here and cut it to at least 7.
28-37 in favor of the Renegades with 1:25 remaining in this game, in this first half. Nelson will shoot a mid-range from just beyond the arc.
They needed that. I think as the floor leader out there, Nelson could sense they need a basket right there. Well, and she took it upon herself to cut that lead right there.
Great shot from the elbow and to put it in. Mullen.
Great D.
Great turnover by Hunt.
Great on the break.
Will drive. She'll dish. She'll find Nelson in the corner, and Nelson will shoot, and it will hit the rim and rebounded by Ramos.
Less than a minute left now, Will.
Ramos will push the ball up. She'll find Paige. Pardon me, that is Tarver. Mullen over to Flores. Flores back to Mullen from top of the key. Hunt back to Mullen. Mullen will drive, and she is fouled trying to take to the hoop. Good foul by Santa Monica to not give up the easy basket.
And you know what? It was really close to being a great block, Will. You know, I was 50-50 on it, but the refs were obviously a lot closer, so they had the good look on it. You know what's very interesting right now, Will, is no Paige to be found on the floor. You know, you have your leading scorer and your top dog not on the floor to close the half. You know, something that you wouldn't see most coaches do. Most coaches would have their moneymakers on there to begin and end halves, definitely.
Jade Gridiron will sub in for Clacy Tarver. Tarver has been shooting pretty well from beyond the arc tonight, and Mullen will make both free throws.
And they haven't been squandering free throw opportunities, Will. That's been huge for the Renegades.
6 seconds separates the game clock from the shot clock. Nelson shoots and it rims out, rebounded by Ramos. Great effort by Hunt to get that ball into Ramos. Here's Jade. Mullen will handle the ball. She'll find Hunt. Hunt will drive. She'll dish. Intercepted by Great. 11 seconds remaining. Great. Stolen from behind by Ramos.
Completely oblivious to the defender behind her, Will.
Flores finds Mullen. Mullen looking, drives as time expires. And she will not get the drop. Rebounded by Jan. And that'll end the first half.
The Corsairs can use every point, Will. You know what? It might just be 2. It might be a 9-point lead. It could have been 11. But we're going to need it. Yeah,
absolutely. Tough end of the half there for the Corsairs. 39-30.
And it's funny, you know, because we talked about it at multiple times during the first half how the Corsairs really needed to try to protect that lead or, the deficit and keep it from going from 4 points to 9 or 10. And now we find ourselves with a 9-point deficit.
Well, we have Coach Dahl here. She'll be being interviewed with Camelia Semema, our silent reporter. So we're going to shoot you to her.
Well, that was the first half, a close physical game for you guys, Coach Dahl. Talk me through what you're going to tell your team at halftime.
Actually, I'm just going to ask them what's going on. We seem really tired today, and so we just got to get their heads in the right place. But glad my number 22, Leah Mullen, hit some big threes at the end. That was huge for us.
Right, and your freshman forward, Nakia Page, she's 5th in the conference right now, leading 13.6 points per game. Tell me, is she going to be the key for you guys in the second half?
Nakia's come on really strong for us, but we have a pretty balanced team. We just got to get the rest of them going, but Nakia's huge for us every night.
Well, best of luck to you guys. Thanks for your time.
So much.
Coach Strong, a close physical battle out there between the two teams, and you have Holloway who's out injured. You're down at the half. Talk me through what you're going to tell your team at halftime. What can we expect?
When I get in there, I basically tell them, first off, they have to slow down. We're shooting way too early on the shot clock. We're getting over half court and just shooting. It's like one person's touching the ball. We're not sharing the ball. So we're also going to change our defense a little bit, probably try to shut down number 24 because she's pretty much their player that's really hurting us right now. So we'll try and shut her down, maybe shut 22 down as well. So a couple of adjustments at half.
Okay, great. Well, thanks so much, Coach. Best of luck to you.
Great, thank you.
Back to you guys.
Welcome back to Santa Monica College. Bakersfield leaves the Corsairs 39-30.
About 40 seconds left till we get it kicked off here, Will. And like we were saying at the end of halftime, you're going to really just have to watch the Corsairs' free throw percentage because right now Bakersfield's edging them out a little bit. In that same vein, without their leading scorer, we're going to really have to see what the great can do and how Nelson can get the ball to Great and to Jan at the same time. Really got to get those two involved because at the beginning of the game, they were doing pretty well.
They also need to stop the lazy passes. Too many lazy passes.
The rainbow passes like you were talking about from the backcourt, those aren't going to do anything for you. Nothing.
They just need to clean the sloppy play up. Santa Monica is not out of this game. It's only a 9-point lead. I mean, it's not unsurmountable.
Not at all.
They were down by 16 a couple times on Wednesday night, and they brought it back to even take the lead.
Yeah.
So we will be bringing you the second half here at Santa Monica College in just a few minutes. I'm Will Polig.
With Will is with him as always, Trevor Angoni.
You forgot your name there, buddy.
Hey.
An exciting day for basketball here.
Yeah, man. It's getting, I like it when our teams are behind because it really gives us something to fight for. I mean, if we were up by 10, then the expectation would be on us to win, And so now, a lot of the pressure is off. So I could see, it's really going to depend, I think, if SMC can really get loose from the three-point, range, because beginning of the game, it was close. We were up a little bit, and we were doing well from three,
All right, we are about to start the second half here. Your score is 39 for the Bakersfield Renegades and 30 for the Santa Monica Corsairs. Corsairs, such a unique name, isn't it?
Yeah, I remember the first time I was ever on campus as a young 18-year-old right out of high school, and I had one of the football coaches come up to me and say, hey, son, let's get you some hardware. And he was referring to the Corsairs just winning the recent championship and getting a championship ring. And he said, we're going to make, let's try to get you to be a Corsair. I said, what's a Corsair? He said, it's a pirate. So
it's a fancy pirate.
Yeah, the very first time on campus, I learned what a Corsair was.
Nelson inbounds to Killican, and we're underway here in the second half. Pass by Great is intercepted by number 22, Mullen, who had a huge first half.
A huge first half and a huge beehive haircut, Will. Very unique, very cool.
Here's Nelson. She looks to take in, passes out, though, to Delgado. Killican.
Yeah, and Mullen is everywhere trying to steal.
And Vaughn is called for the travel.
That must have been the smallest travel in the history of basketball because I think she was spot-up shooting and somehow got called for the travel. So maybe a little bunny hop there.
Tarver inbounds the ball. She finds Hunt.
Oh, that's a walk.
Hunt to Page.
Oh.
And a hand check called on Nelson.
Yeah, they are definitely giving the benefit of the doubt to, star player Nahia Page. Brad.
Is there like a stat sheet? A stat sheet.
You got stats from first half?
Tarver hitting from three.
Interesting stat on Tarver, Will. Tarver is number 5 in conference right now with 29.9% from three. So if there's one person you got to watch from three with these Renegades, it's Tarver.
Killican from the shoulder, and she shoots a three, but it does not fall. But Jan fighting for that rebound. She almost comes down with it, but is taken by Mullen. Baca has possession of the ball. Passes the ball back to Mullen. Baca sets up the play. She'll find Tarver in the corner. Ball rims out, gets her own rebound.
All the Corsairs in the paint,
Baca
Will.
for three. She'll miss. Ball is rebounded by Vaughn.
Nelson trying to get things going for SMC, moving the ball.
Great movement by the Corsairs. Killican. Inside feed to Delgado. Delgado shoot and won't fall.
Got to hit those little jump hooks in the paint, Will. Anything in the paint, we got to convert right now.
Baca at top of the key. She'll find Tarver. She'll drive in. She'll shoot. And it'll rim out. Great hustle. Great hustle there by Baca, but she cannot get her feet in bounds before grabbing the ball. And that'll be a turnover to Santa Monica College.
And it's not like SMC isn't getting their fair shakes of, the ball bouncing. They're getting pretty good calls. It's about 50-50. No team has, obviously gotten the better, the benefit of the doubt.
Nelson tries to feed a pass in through a little window, and that ball is intercepted. Here comes Paige pushing it up, and she takes a hard foul. And she'll go to the line.
Nothing intentional, Will. Just a very hard collision.
And she is still down in pain.
And we're talking about star player for Bakersfield, Nahia Page.
Coach Dahl will come over and check on her star player.
Yeah, just got to walk it off. A little bit of a limp, but, doesn't look like anything she can't walk off. Now going down to...
I don't know. It looks like it's perhaps a knee.
Yeah, holding her short, so they might have to sub her out just for the time being. Looks like she's in obvious pain, so, you never like to see that, Will, but that is a game changer right there. We're talking about star player Nahia Page from Bakersfield, 13.6 points a game, leads her team, or right up there with the leaders in her team in rebounds at 5.2. Also averages 1.5 steals. So, a huge loss for Bakersfield if she cannot return.
Mackenzie Odell, number 20, will check in. She's a 5'7" sophomore. She's a guard-forward hybrid. She went to North High School. She'll shoot from the line.
And Santa Monica hasn't had to worry about boxing out on the rebound because Bakersfield hits most of their free throws, which is something we talked about at halftime, and it's something that SMC should really keep their eyes on because they should really mirror that effort.
Odell has a really good form from the line. She'll hit both her free throw opportunities.
And here's Killican. Killican and Nelson doing a really good job moving the ball. I think really Jan doesn't need to handle the ball. She needs to be spot-up shooting right now.
Jan, great feed and great drive by Great to drop it in.
And there's Great getting it started early, Will, just like we talked about at halftime like she did in the first half, beginning of the first half.
Santa Monica College wants to cut this to a single-digit lead by about the 10-minute mark. That's generally the rule in college basketball.
Oh, yeah.
You want to be within 10 with 10 minutes left to play. Just take chunks out of the lead.
So they just can't give up anything else, Will. They just really got to hold tight and make sure that this lead doesn't get any bigger. Right now it's 12. Got to really just try to get it down to 8 by the 10-minute mark, like you said. And if they do that, they'll put a little bit of pressure on Bakersfield, and that'll really, really help their effort.
That's the second personal foul on Jan for Santa Monica College. Mullen will shoot 2 from the line.
I think all of our viewers just saw one of the players for the Bakersfield men's team walk into the shot right there. Had to get rid of some trash, but not holding anything against them. Got to do what you got to do.
Mullen made her first attempt. She'll shoot her second.
Mullen, I tons of credit for her being able to run the court and move as fast as she does with such a huge head of hair. Just probably twice 2 or 3 times the size of her own head. It's definitely something very interesting.
Shannon Yan is called for a personal foul. Seems that she was getting a little lippy with the referee over there. So Mullen will shoot an extra shot.
Well, you've got Mullen, like I keep talking about with her crazy beehive hairdo, but then you also have Linda Ramos, who has, her really heavy head of dreads. If those two were squaring up together and they were not on the same team, you'd have an Alien versus Predator situation going on right there, brother. I'm not joking. It's no joke. You got, 2 silhouettes right there for sure.
Horrible movie. Horrible movie.
Horrible movie. It's, we could talk about that for hours. The studio systems, just can't help themselves when it comes to taking 2 great franchises and trying to wring every dime out of them. So, thank God we're here in the natural, organic setting of collegiate sports. Right?
All right. Mullen is set to shoot her final free throw. It's a 14-point lead for Bakersfield.
14 going on 15. Well, this thing's starting to get out of hand real fast. SMC is going to really have to batten down the hatches, look for some good opportunities from 3 at the very least,
Bakersfield on a pretty nice little run here.
Great ball handling by Nelson, Will.
They're on an 8-0 run, and that run is finally broken there by Truitt, breaking it up.
Oh, looked like really good D to me, Will, but looks like Ashley Scott getting called on the foul right there, unfortunately.
And these fouls are really starting to pile up on Santa Monica College. And when you're playing the small bench, it's okay. It's good to give up fouls sometimes. Sometimes hard fouls, good fouls.
Yeah.
But when you're playing with the short bench, it comes a point where you got to start watching these fouls.
And when your deficit is getting bigger by the minute, I see Jan over there on the bench. She's top 3 in the conference in threes. I would really be trying to run some plays to get her maybe a runner. Send her along the baseline and clear out those defenders and get her a nice open shot on the perimeter. Just something to get your offensive stalwarts the ball.
And my favorite thing to say is quickest way to 2 is the baseline.
Exactly. Send them on the runner, and who knows? You might find them wide open underneath.
Ball's rebounded by Truitt, almost lost by Scott. There's Nelson. There's another not a great pass, but Nelson able to handle. She'll find Killican over in the corner. Killican will pass the ball out to Nelson. Contact. Mullen will be knocked down, but no foul called. Killigan tries to feed it inside to Truitt. That ball is blocked by Baca.
And
Ball stay with Santa Monica College.
Since SMC has a hard time, by the looks of it, of getting open jump shots or three-pointers, they have their players down on the block, like Tony Truitt asking for the ball, Will. I mean, I really think when you have your big players down on the block like that, you got to give them the ball if they're calling for it.
Killigan will find Scott. Truitt drives, and
Great
she will put it in.
layup.
Truitt has 4 points this half, stepping up big for the Corsairs.
And finally calling for the ball. That's something we didn't see her do in the first half, Will.
There's Ashley Scott playing very good defense on Baca. She'll find Tarver. Tarver will try to drive in. But great playing defense. And we have a travel called on Baca.
They're going to need more of that. Well, that's exactly what they need. We need all the help we can get right now in as many possessions as possible.
Truitt will inbound the ball from the Bakersfield side. Nelson will handle. She'll dribble it up slow. Being defended by Odell. Looking for the trap. Nice hand check called on Odell.
I've been talking about it all game, Will, but I really like the way Nelson, kind of orchestrates this offense and really moves that ball through the backcourt.
She really is smooth as ice.
She is.
Like Chris Paul out there with the ball.
The ball should be in her hands every time down, no question.
Killigan also can handle the ball pretty well.
She can.
Sometimes she makes lazy passes, but she handles the ball well.
She can, surprisingly, because she wasn't necessarily making her name known, prior to this game, this season, but she's really stepping it up.
Half-court pass from Scott Killigan. And there's a foul called on Truitt.
Unfortunately, I think the and one is going to stay on the ground, Will, so it's going to be a blocking foul, probably, second of the quarter. Going to probably take it out of bounds, I believe.
She'll shoot two.
What I would definitely say, Will, I really think that SMC needs to stop standing around. I just saw Great on the perimeter. When the ball was passed to her, she looked surprised. So I think they really need to start, running their, not their routes, but their plays, their routes on their plays a little bit more.
Through your stuff real quick.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Mullen will find Tarver. And she is good from three. She is just on fire.
She is, and that's a 14-point lead with 15 minutes left, Will. If they could cut it, cut 6 from that in the next 5 minutes, that would be great. But even that's going to be a victory in itself.
Dangerous play there by Nelson, cutting 2 defenders.
Nice.
She will find Truitt, who puts that away.
And Truitt's really picking it up this half, Will. I think they need to get the ball in her hands a little bit more often.
That's 6 points to Truitt. Santa Monica needs to be careful. One more foul, and they're over the limit. They are over the line.
Yikes.
And Bakersfield will shoot 1 for 1 for the remainder of the game.
And that is 15 minutes left. Well, that is a pretty massive amount of time when you're talking about being in the bonus.
Good defense by Santa Monica College. Tarver looks to inbound. Finds the ball to Hunt. Great defense there by Truitt. Truitt is playing great basketball right now.
Great second half, Will, and if you notice, Paige is still not back out there, but ever since Paige has left the game, I think the Renegades have done better. We have not been able to take advantage of the leading scorer of the Renegades being out of the game.
Tarver for 3. Rims out, rebound by Great, but stolen from behind, but they will get called on the foul.
Yeah, that would have been a really good-looking 3-on-1, Will, but we got ourselves raked right there, so.
Foul number 10, placing Tarver.
Well, Paige will check back in for Odell. Tarver gets the rebound. She'll push the ball up for Hunt.
Ooh. That was close to it. I saw that pivot foot drag, Will.
No call by the officials.
Great
Ramos takes it, and that ball is taken away by Killigan. And then turned over on a pass attempt to Nelson. Mullen passes up to Ramos. Ramos finds Paige in the low key. And she'll turn around, and it will hit off the rim. Rebounded by Ramos, though. These offensive rebounds are coming in big for Bakersfield.
Paige finally back in there, Will. Those long arms completely stopping that SMC fast break.
Mullen set up the play, and she found Hunt. Hunt falls, going for the ball, and we get a timeout call by Bakersfield. 14:07 left. The score is 50-38 in favor of Bakersfield.
Good thinking by Bakersfield head coach right there, Will. She saw her girl on the ground. She knew she wanted to keep the ball, so she jumped in and called the timeout before.
Yeah, heads up play by the coach there.
Very heads up.
Oh, this is an old blast from the past.
Yeah, a little blast from the past. Funny enough, though, actually, blast from the past that's going to be headlining one of the nights at Coachella coming up in a few months. I think they're
nice.
Headlining Saturday. You're going to have Outkast back there for all of us old dogs. Going to be a little bit of a nostalgic kind of feeling to it, you know?
You'll be heading there? You doing stagecoach as well?
It's fun. No stagecoach for me usually. Some of my friends, but it's funny you ask because this year you have Arcade Fire headlining Sunday, I believe. You got Outkast out there, and though we were just talking about Outkast and how nostalgic it'd be for us, I just don't know if they're enough as a headliner to make me buy a 3-day ticket. Because after looking at all the days, Saturday does look awesome, but I just don't know if it's worth getting a 3-day ticket.
Definitely
my man.
a better card than last year, I'll tell you that.
Definitely a better card than last year. At least a little bit more originality and less repeats,
14:07 remaining in the second half here at Santa Monica College. Bakersfield on top, 50-38. I'm Will Polig.
With Will's Trevor Angoni.
And Mullins sets the ball up. She'll find Tarver in the corner, and she will make it like she's done all day long.
Great play out of the timeout, Will. That could not have been written up better from the head coaches.
Nelson cuts the defenders. She'll find Yon in the corner. Yon, spot up three, and it is good. Big three by Shannon Yon.
They needed that, Will.
Coming back from the bench after that technical foul. First shot, she puts it away for three. But here's Tarver, and she will make another three. That is her 5th three this evening.
Just threes rain in here right now, Will. SMC is going to have to do, it's like cannonballs coming in and blowing up the ship.
Tarver and Moreland have been playing huge here for Bakersfield Renegades.
And Nelson can do all she wants here. She's doing a great job
Nelson
dribbling, but she needs to do exactly that.
And she cannot finish, but great with the rebound. A put through. She cannot finish in that ball as rebound by Mullen.
Yeah, Nelson's doing a lot, Will. I think she needs to call her own number like she tried to do there a little bit more often.
I agree. Head fake there by Tarver. Back to Mullen in the top. She'll find Ramos. Ramos will drive. She'll pass over to Tarver. Tarver has trouble handling him. She'll step back for three, and that'll rim out, but rebounded by Mullen. She'll spin around and put it back in for the two. And they are starting to run away with this. It's a 17-point lead.
Yeah, a couple of threes and an easy two-pointer, Will. It's not looking good right now.
There's Scott. She'll find Yon. Yon shoots for three, and that rims out, but rebound by Great. Fought. Ramos gets in there, and she'll seal it through, and Paige able to pull that ball down. And she'll find Moreland. Moreland will take the ball up to Santa Monica court. She'll step back. She'll set up. She finds Tarver.
Paige has probably been back in the game for 2 minutes, Will, and you can already tell how big of an impact she's making.
She's 6 foot. She's a tall piece of cookie out there.
She is.
Tarver will find Ramos, and Ramos cannot handle that pass. Looking like Brett Favre throwing that ball in there.
Now with 12 minutes left and, Jan being your three-point specialist, I would really start designing plays for those corner threes. Maybe having Nelson call her own number and throw it down to the block. When's the last time we saw the Corsairs throw the ball down to the block and let Truitt or any of their low post big women, get those nice little hooks?
Ashley Scott on that deep long pass called for the travel. That's unforgivable right there.
Can't afford that right now, Will.
It's costly mistakes like that when you have this surmountable lead that you're trying to cut into.
Yeah, we're already clinging on to life as it is.
About 11:57 left in the second half. Scores 58-41 in favor of Bakersfield. Odell is checked back in the game. She'll find Tarver. Tarver dribbles. She'll pass the ball to Ramos, and she'll set. She'll find Odell at the shoulder. She'll pass back into Tarver. Tarver's blocked.
Nice D.
Great steal there by Nelson. She'll drive. She'll take, and she is fouled hard, and she'll go to the line for two.
Yeah, a real good presence of mind to know by going up with the ball, she'd draw the foul right there, Will.
She is very good at knowing when to take the shot and when to pull out.
She has great timing. As a point guard, she has to know, what to do down to the millisecond to get those perfect shot opportunities.
Great job play there for contact by Nelson.
Absolutely.
She'll shoot two here from the line. Big 2 points that the Corsairs really need here.
Nice.
She'll make the first one.
Better than the first half. She had trouble knocking those in the first half, so
Level
good to
up.
see. Yeah.
And she will make 2 of 2.
So only 15 with 11 minutes. I mean, not insurmountable, but it's going to take a big effort, Will.
Ramos dribbles up. Great defense by Truitt, and they will call her for double dribble.
Brad.
Stats.
Don't have him. We're not going to get him.
And Scott will handle the ball. She'll find Jan from the corner. She can't fall, but great rebound by Crate. And she'll put it back, and she will shoot for another.
And, Will, that's exactly what three-point shooting does. If they don't hit the three-point shots, those long rebounds are going to create second opportunities, and that's exactly what the Corsairs need right now. If they can't get the three-pointers, they got to get the second shot opportunities.
Santa Monica slowly but surely trying to climb back into this game.
Little here, little there. Might be able to cut it to 12 with 11 minutes left, Will.
And Bakersfield is on a 3-game winning streak. Santa Monica looking to end that win streak.
Looking to end that win streak and hopefully start one of their own.
Yeah, it's been a tough season with all the injuries for Santa Monica College this year. As we mentioned, Holloway still not back, not clear to play.
Yeah.
She's hoping for Antelope Valley next week for next game back. She's averaging 15 points per game, which leads the Corsairs.
Yes, she does. Significantly.
Here's Mullen. She'll bring the ball up, guarded by Nelson. She'll move the ball over to Odell. Back to Hunt. Hunt will find Mullen. Nelson will move over and take D. Odell, lob pass over to Page, and that ball is knocked out. Great defense there by Truitt. The ball will stay with Bakersfield. Mullen will inbound the ball. She'll find Ramos, the shoulder. Ramos will drive, and the ball stripped, but right in the hands of Hunt, who takes up and can't miss. And then Ramos finishes the basket up.
Ramos, great hands. If it's not on a pump fake pass, then she just has a really good knack of getting the ball in the hoop.
So 14-point lead here for Bakersfield. Jan, deep pass to Nelson. Nelson fakes the 3, steps up, takes a 16-footer, can't finish. Rebounded by Ramos. About 3 people had their hands on that ball.
Yeah, that was anybody's ball, Will.
Nelson steps up on Mullen. She'll find Odell. Odell will drive in, stop, dish out. Page fakes the shot, or Hunt fakes shot, drives in, and banks it off. Her body out of control, still manages to drop the basket.
Hard to defend those, Will, the floating jumpers that, should have very little chance of going in.
And we're up to a 16-point lead here. Jan, bad pass there by Scott.
And, Bakersfield's height is really giving the Corsairs issues, Will. As Mullen just drives the lane like she's just walking through the pea patch.
And we're up to 18-point lead, the largest lead of the game.
Yeah, it's not looking too good, Will. It's going to take a historic comeback virtually for them to get back into this.
Great crossover there for Nelson. Jan will find Truitt underneath, and she will be fouled. She will take 2 shots from the line. Truitt has really showed up this half. She has 6 of the 8 points for the Corsairs. She'll shoot her first. No good.
Once again, Will, the lack of being able to connect on these free throws, we talked about it in the first half, and, the game's pretty out of hand, but, that could have helped, so really just, the classic, got to hit the free throws, man, got to hit the free ones.
Baca will check back in for Odell. Also heading to the bench is Mullen. And we have a timeout by the Corsairs.
Yeah,
what are they talking about in the huddle? What is Coach Strong talking to their players about right now?
At this point, I think it's really just a morale boost timeout. The coach, can read the writing on the wall, down by 17 points. I think everyone in the gym knows where this game's going. But really, that being said, you got 9.5 minutes left. You can't allow your team to just quit, let this thing get out of hand and go up to 35 points. So really what you got to do, you got to reel them in.
Absolutely, you got to play hard. Even when you're going to lose, you want to lose with strength.
Absolutely.
You want to pop them in the mouth. You want to show them, like, you might have won the battle, but the war is far from over.
Still got to defend your home court. Well, you got 9.5 minutes left, and you're already getting kind of smeared all around it. So honestly, defend and don't let this thing get any worse. Remember, this is your house. You got to defend your house.
9:30 left here at Santa Monica College. 64 for Bakersfield, 47 for the Corsairs. Both teams are over the limit for fouls, so they will both be in the bonus and shoot for 1-for-1s.
Shout out to whoever's doing the our musical mixing today, Will. A little What Does the Fox Say? A little bit of Outkast, a little bit of everything.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Big props to the scores table over there today.
All right, that ball will be inbounded to Baca. They'll run Baca, Ramos, Hunt, Page, and Gridiron. Against Nelson, Scott, Great, Truitt, and Flores. I'm sorry, Delgado for the Corsairs. Nelson handles the ball. Over to Great. Great moves the ball. She'll find Scott. Scott will shoot from 3, and that one will rim out. And rebounded by Page. And then stolen by Nelson.
Great anticipation, Will.
Great effort by Nelson. She'll get the ball over to Truitt. Truitt tries to feed it to Delgado, and ball taken by Scott. And Page, great hustle on the cross pass over.
There she is again with those long arms and that big frame, Will.
Scott tried to do a cross pass over to Nelson.
I'll tell you what, though, Will, number 5, Linda Ramos, she has really, ever since the onset of this game, she has gotten better and better. Just ball handling, assists, hitting her shots. She doesn't do anything bad. I mean, she's not blowing the place up, but she doesn't make a lot of mistakes.
And we'll get an off-the-ball foul called here on Truitt. So they will shoot the 1-for-1.
Now, see, Will, that's the problem right now with where the game is at. They're down by a lot, so it's starting to creep into the girls' minds, you know, what am I out here to play for the last 8.5 minutes? So that's where you have to be really careful and not get those little petty personal fouls, technical fouls. You really just got to, you know, stay true to yourself, keep playing this out, and just like we talked about, you got to defend this house.
And she'll make her first, so she will get the benefit of shooting a second.
There we go. Yeah, the Bakersfield hasn't had a lot of trouble connecting on their free throws tonight, Will.
Eliza Baca, she'll shoot and she'll make both. A 19-point lead for the Renegades. Scott will take the ball up. She'll back up. Being double coverage, they have her trapped, but she's able to find Nelson. Nelson will handle. She'll find Truitt. Truitt will spin. She'll drive baseline. She'll take it up. And she gets a defensive block, and she will head to the line and shoot 2.
Yeah, I was worried, Will. I thought that might have been called offensive. You know, she just kind of barreled into her, but she was probably in the restricted area. So either way, offensive foul.
Foul number 15, Rosenbrook.
Truitt dribbles and shoots. And she needs the backboard, but it still goes in. Truitt from the line, hoping to go for 2 for 2 here at the line. And Truitt has played big in the second half, leading the Corsairs in points.
If I was the Corsairs, I would have been feeding her the rock all second half, Will, but there just seems to be a little bit of a disconnect between coaching and performance.
There's Paige, she'll find Flores. Flores double covered and rebounded by Delgado. Nelson will have the ball. Deep pass and over the head of Great.
Like we said, well, those big, long passes like you're throwing a touchdown Hail Mary, you know, just not fit for the basketball court.
They're like the passes that you get like when you're playing schoolyard ball. You got that guy that's cherry picking.
You're standing there waiting for it, you know?
Nobody likes a cherry picker.
No, it's just not fun.
Ramos guard by Truitt.
Great anticipation.
Great steal, but the ball hits the line. Great anticipation, as you said there, by Ashley Scott. Way to read where that ball was going.
An inch
like
to the right,
out there.
And she's laying that thing up, Will.
Looking like Sherman out there. For you Seahawks fans, I'm sure there's not a lot of you in LA. Probably all Niners fans.
No, I don't know. There's probably a few more now that they're, in the NFC Championship.
Great defense there by Scott. Ramos handles. She'll find Tarver. Ball over to Mullen. Mullen guarded by Truitt. Ball over to Ramos. Ramos drives, spins around Scott. She'll take, and she'll be blocked. And Great, yet again, for the second game in a row, unaware of her position on the court, and she steps out of bounds.
You know, she's like a wild horse. She's like, the filly that breaks off the rest of the field by 20 lengths. You know, she has so much energy, so much just desire to get there and make the play.
And there's Paige for 3.
That was a good-looking shot, Will. That was nothing but net. That was butter.
Yeah, that was butter. And the lead is now a 19-point lead, 68-49 with 7:15 remaining in favor of the Renegades. Nelson handles. She'll try to find Great, but that ball is blocked by Tarver. Great is able to handle.
All right.
She found Scott, but Santa Monica College gets a timeout before she gets rid of the ball.
Interesting time for a timeout, Will, being down 19 with 7 minutes to go. But hey, still a game.
That was more of a timeout to not lose possession.
keep the. You know what? I didn't notice that. Yeah, you're definitely right.
So 49-68 in favor of the Renegades. The Renegades are holding their largest lead of the game of 19 points.
Yeah, and I don't see this one getting any closer. Will might get a little closer, but this one should be pretty much done. It's going to take a miracle of miracle comebacks for the Lady Corsairs to close this 20-point gap.
We have some subs coming in here. We have Flores, Ogle, Tarver, Gridiron, and number 4, Elizabeth Fogerson. She's a 5'4" freshman guard from Frontner High.
Frontner, you ever heard of that school before, Will?
I have not.
Yeah,
I'm from Philadelphia.
Must be from somewhere NorCal, because I'm from Southern California. I haven't heard about it. A lot of those schools I haven't heard about are up in the northern half of the state.
Half these high schools I've never heard of. I'm from Philadelphia, so.
No doubt. You could tell us about Lower Merion, though, I'm sure.
Oh, I can.
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant, alma mater. So Great cannot get the basket. Mullen will handle. Mullen has all day. The lane was wide open for her, and she takes an extra hop and call for traveling.
Yeah, she's really been surprising me, though, with how fast she's moving and how good she is with the ball in her hands, Will.
It's a shame because she just found Flores underneath the basket for an easy put-in, but called for the travel. There's Nelson guarded by Odell. She'll spin. Coming in for help is Fogelson.
Man, I'm telling you, every time Nelson brings the ball up, it's like the NBA All-Star Game skills competition, okay? Mm-hmm. She's got to go around barrels and throw the ball through hoops, and she's going crazy out there.
Santa Monica moves the ball around. Scott will drive. She'll put a desperation shot that doesn't hit anything. Tarver crosses over Fogelson, almost
great
gets
defense
it, but that
right
ball
there
will
by
stay.
Truitt, Will.
Tarver will inbound. Ball is inbound to Fogelson.
Oh,
and that
great
ball is
steal.
stolen by Scott. She has all day, and she'll take it, and she will finish it.
Doesn't get any easier than that, Will.
So what does Santa Monica want to gain here from the rest of the game?
So honestly, if they're going to play Bakersfield again the rest of this, season, Will, what's going to happen is, what you can do is you can game plan for those future games. Like right now, I believe this is the first matchup, but you're learning everything there is to learn about Bakersfield. You're learning who their star players are. You're learning who's going to come in and fill in for those star players when those star players have to leave. So right now, it's almost like a really extensive kind of scouting session to see, to gain everything you can information-wise. So when you play them again later in the season, you're ready for them.
Santa Monica still hopes to make the playoffs. They're very upbeat when they talk about it. I mean, they have a lot of injury, and there is an offense. There's a charge call there.
Absolutely. And as we say that, looks like our Corsair men's team has just entered the gym, and they're doing calisthenics behind the benches. So that game's coming up next.
And it's very interesting how Santa Monica goes about their practices. Like they don't use static workouts. They incorporate sports science into what they do, which I'm really enthused. I mean,
it's kind of like a new approach, kind of like how you have these college football programs doing like the no huddle, how that's the new trend. Mm-hmm. It's like that new trend of, like you said, non-static and the future of working out.
And me being from Philadelphia, huge Eagles guy.
Oh yeah,
love Chip Kelly.
Love everything he did.
It brings such a great sports science method to learning the game and incorporating players to become stronger and more fit.
One of my best friends, he's a Philly fan, and in the beginning of the season, we heard about all the energy drinks and the shakes, and all the not a ton of running, before the season. You have the old school, 40s, 50s football, you can make the correlation between basketball and football, but you have the old school mantra of, just banging it out in practice. But I think if you're going to preserve these bodies, what you really got to do is you got to look at that new generation of coaching like you were talking about.
Well, Moreland will shoot from the line here. 69-51 in favor of the Renegade. Forgot the S at the end there.
Renegades, and if you want to visit their website, you could go to Go Gades. That's Go Gades.
Nelson handles, double coverage. Oof. Looking like Allen Iverson out there, but then turns the ball over.
That's a good call. A little bit of a late call.
Foul.
The right call, though. And like you said, Will, you said a little bit of Allen Iverson. The way that she's been cutting up the defense, Allen Iverson is one of the greatest ball handlers of all time, but, this defense is making her look like Allen Iverson, or she's making herself look like Allen Iverson. She looks great out there.
I love watching her play. Like she's very skilled with the ball.
She's smooth. Yeah, no, so do I.
And you got to think teams will be better once they get their number one scorer back.
No, absolutely.
When you have to mix match and you have different starting rotations like every game, it's kind of hard when you have like only a couple people off the bench able to play. Ball is rebounded by Page, pushed up by Moreland.
Moreland, man, again,
Flores was calling for the ball on the other side. She was wide open. Fogelson handles. Stephanie Perez has checked in, number 1. She's a 5'5" freshman guard from North High.
Nicole Chisholm looks like she's checked in for the Corsairs. Well, it looks like they're going to try to get her some time. What? Look at your phone.
Perez will inbound. Mullen handles. Back to Perez. Perez looks for 3. Doesn't shoot. Passes over to Paige. She'll spin and shoot.
Pretty obvious
and
foul.
She will shoot 2.
That's honestly the best defense you can do on Paige. She's just, kind of she's been having her way all day. So if you have to put her on the line, it's like fouling Dwight underneath the basket, Mm-hmm. Except I have a feeling that she probably has a higher percentage from the free throw line than Dwight does. That being said, she misses the first. Very Dwight-esque.
Pretty good stat line team-wise for the Renegades. They have 19 assists, 11 offensive rebounds, 22 defensive rebounds, 4 blocks, and 12 steals.
19 assists as a team at this level, Will, that just shows you how well they're working together. This whole team, 1 through 8 or 1 through 9, they all work as a unit, just look at the benches. We have, 2 on our bench, and they have 5, 6, 7, 8 on their bench. They just have a really good, cohesive crew, They're
crushing Santa Monica College on the offensive boards. Santa Monica only has 6 offensive rebounds to the 11 by the Renegades.
And if you take a look at our team, just from the eye test, Bakersfield seems to have a lot more length in their lineup. Now, that being said, Holloway's their leading rebounder, so she definitely would have helped. I think this game would have been at least, within 10 points if she was here today.
And Scott loses the handle. Turnover to Moreland, who has just been on fire in this game.
Yeah, she turned into point guard the second half, Will.
And there's Flores. She'll shoot and miss, but rebounded by number 33, Julia De La Rosa. Page handles. She'll find Perez, who shoots for 3. And she is money from 3.
Money from 3. First shot of the game, I believe, for her. First insertion into the lineup.
Very enthusiastic just after that basket.
A lot of confidence on that squad right now, Will.
4 minutes remain in the second half of this blowout against Santa Monica and Bakersfield. Great steal by Scott.
Great steal off of a really good look on an assist from Mullen, like we've been saying. Well, she's just been,
De La Rosa pushes the ball,
running point out there.
And Great cannot handle. And Santa Monica will use a timeout. Leads them with 2 timeouts remaining.
Full time on the floor.
3:47 remaining. 74-52 is the score. A 22-point lead for the Renegades of Bakersfield.
Yeah, this one's over, Will, but like we talked about earlier, every minute you get on the floor with this team is another minute of scouting. Like we saw, the girl that just hit the three, she's a late insertion, but now the team knows that she can shoot the three, so, every second on the floor, there's knowledge to be gained, so it's all not for nothing,
It's tough when you're losing like this, but I mean, it's good character for the kids. It shows your character, like how you can battle through losses like this.
It's tough to lose, but it makes it a lot easier if you got Earth, Wind, and Fire going in the background,
I feel like John Travolta right now.
Oh, yeah. A little disco.
Checking in the game for Santa Monica is number 24, Nicole Chisholm. So they're on great. Chisholm, Delgado, Scott, and Truitt. Tarver handles. She'll pass over to Delgado. Delgado will find Perez. Perez dribbles. She'll find Hunt. Hunt into Delgado. Delgado playing great defense. I'm sorry, handling the ball for Bakersfield was De La Rosa.
And it looks like we've seen the last of Paige for the day, Will. With that injury early in the second half, no reason to keep her out there.
Yeah, you want your star player. There's no point in wasting an injury.
Don't want another Holloway to happen. You don't want to lose your star player for your next game.
Here's great, dribbles in, stops. She finds De La Rosa at the Chisholm. 2 on the shot clock. Truitt gets up and airmails it. And the shot clock violation. The ball
if
will be
she would
turned
have
over
just
to
grazed the little rim, Will, we could have, had that second opportunity.
Tarver will inbound. And timeout called.
Timeout on the floor.
Timeout called by Bakersfield. 2:57 remaining, 74-52 in favor of the Renegades.
With all these timeouts, this second half has really dragged on. The game's been over for a while now, and I feel like, we played 3 halves.
That's how all basketball is.
Yeah, especially when the game is not good.
Have you been under a rock, Trevor?
Oh, yeah, I know, right?
Checking in the game for the Renegades is number 2, Kristen Miller, a 5-foot guard out of West High. Tarver will shoot the 3 and miss. Rebounded by Scott. She'll drive up. She'll throw up a desperation shot and miss. And ball is knocked out of bounds by Great. Turnover to Glendale.
A little bit of a circus shot.
Both teams in the double bonus. So any fouls, they will shoot 2.
It only took the Corsairs another 16 minutes to catch up to the double bonus.
Tarver inbounds to Flores.
You got to attack that point guard right now, Will.
Flores handling the ball. Got Scholes from Walter. Perez takes, passes to Tarver. Tarver underneath.
Great ball movement by Bakersfield. Just really.
Back to De La Rosa for the basket.
SMC makes them look good.
Scott will handle. She'll find Killison. Back to Scott. Back to Killison. Open for 3. She'll shoot. It rims out. Defensive rebound.
Looking back now, Will, lots of one-and-dones this game. We could have used with a little bit more opportunity.
Flores shoots for 3. Rims out, but rebounded by Miller. Miller dishes out to Tarver. Tarver drives, takes, and she finds Flores for the putback. She misses, but gets a rebound and puts it back in. And the offensive rebounds are killing Santa Monica College.
Offensive rebounds killing Santa Monica, and just great ball movement by Bakersfield. Really, Bakersfield has had their numbers, since early on in the second half, Will.
1:30 remains. Scott with the ball. She'll find Killison. Can't handle the pass, but she controls. Over to Chisholm in the corner. She moves the ball. Turned over by Delgado. That ball will stay here with Bakersfield.
Here come the Renegade men's team out on the floor to, or not on the floor, but behind the benches on the secondary floor to get ready for the matchup
Checking
coming up
out
next.
Tarver. And Flores. And checking in is Gridiron. And Elizabeth Fogelson. Fogelson handles. She'll find Gridiron. Gridiron for three. She'll airmail it, but rebound by Flores. Flores cannot put it in. Delgado with the rebound for Santa Monica.
Referees are letting them play at this point, Will, but with the game this far out of hand, they just really want to get this thing over and get the men's teams out on the floor.
58.9 seconds left. 78-52, a 26-point lead for Bakersfield. But Delgado will go to the line and she will shoot two.
Delgado and Truitt, if they could have only gotten them the ball down on the block a little bit more often, could have ran some low post offense, I feel like low post offense and 3-point offense is where we really, could have had a little bit more production today, Will.
Delgado looks, and she'll shoot. And she'll make that one, shooting one for two in the double bonus. Flores handles, and she will dish it over to Perez. Perez back to Flores as they move it up the court. 50 seconds remain. Flores. Killigan gets a hand, almost steals the ball, and they'll trap her. And it's a jump ball call, and Flores is down on the ground. She looks to be in some pain. Giselle Flores.
Might have been an elbow or a knee.
And she is a 5'9" sophomore forward from Shafter High. She'll be all right.
She's walking off. She's a warrior. She's going to be just fine.
Perez will inbound. And they will call a foul on Chisholm. That'll put number 4, Elizabeth Fogelson, on the line. She will shoot two because they're in the double bonus. 43.5 seconds remain. This game is all but over. She'll make the first. And she will make both. I must say, Bakersfield's looked pretty good at the line.
Hey, all game, Will. Like we said, they've definitely had the edge at the free throw line. We've seen that the first half. We see that the second half.
12 seconds separate the game clock from the shot clock.
Half a minute left in the game.
Scott in the corner. She shoots a three. Rims out. Chisholm with the rebound.
And look at that, Will. 3-point shots create second opportunities.
Killison gets it in to Great. Great will bank it in for two. A 25-point lead with 12 seconds remain, and this game is all but over. Killison with the rebound. She'll dribble. She'll find Great as time expires, and this game is all but wrapped up. Santa Monica College falls to Bakersfield Renegades, 80-55. Very tough game for Santa Monica College. But again, when you're battling injuries, when you're battling the odds, and you have your best player on the bench, it's kind of hard to compete. I mean, where did it go wrong for Santa Monica College?
Well, like we were talking about, during the second half, Will, if Holloway, had been in there, the second half or, the first half, if she was just in there in general, I think you would have seen a way better game than a 25-point blowout, And, I mean, the first half, it was actually pretty well matched, I mean, I really didn't think that, Bakersfield had that big of an edge in any particular category, but second half got started. I mean, it was funny because as soon as Paige left the game, they actually went on like a 7 or 8 point run, which was actually really surprising because you would think star player leaves, that's our chance to make a run. But just really a bizarro game, if you ask me today, Will.
Yeah, when you have players that can step up like Tarver and can step up like Moreland had a huge game.
No, absolutely.
Huge game. I mean, it's kind of hard like when you have like second and third and fourth players that can step up and take over games like they did today.
When that happens, I mean, your chances of winning drop like monumentally, So, I mean, it's the writing's on the wall. The Lady Corsairs, like I was talking about earlier, I wish they would have taken a few more shots from three. I wish they would have pounded the ball down low. I mean, even though Bakersfield did have the height advantage, I really think that, their offensive strategy could have been a little different today,
So where does Santa Monica College go from here?
Well, I from what I remember seeing them, they were on the about middle of the ranks when it came to the standings. So after a loss like this, number one, they got to get Holloway back, okay? And if they get Holloway back, then they might be able to make a run for the playoffs, maybe. All right, I think we're about halfway through the season. So if they can get Holloway back, they can start running some low post offense, some three-point offense. I think they might have a decent shot.
So Santa Monica College struggled tonight, scoring only 55 points. Their line score for Bakersfield, 21 assists, 17 offensive rebounds, 24 defensive rebounds, 16 fouls, 4 blocks, 15 steals, and 21 turnovers.
Yeah, only 7 offensive rebounds for Santa Monica today, Will. And, also very indicative of the height difference, 1 block for Santa Monica. I mean, when those girls from Bakersfield got the ball down low in the paint, it was really everything Santa Monica could do to stop them from just putting in those easy little layups.
The whole game was the rebounds. They lost the game off the rebounds.
And then again, I mean, if you look at the turnover ratio, Santa Monica with 24 turnovers, you're looking at about 12 turnovers a half. That's about 100% too many.
Right.
If you're looking at 12 to 15 for the game, then you're looking a lot better.
All right. Well, we're going to go down to Camellia Semina.
Coach Schall, congrats on your win.
Thank you.
This is your 3rd consecutive win. Travel clearly isn't an issue for you guys.
Well, that's all we did was we were on the road from November 8th until January 13th. So we've been on the road nonstop.
Now, second half, your team really upped the tempo and the pressure. What changed for you guys?
We just kind of talked about at halftime what's going on, and I tried to have my kids talk to me a little bit and just hit on a few things we needed to do, and we had some kids show up and play pretty hard. It was fun.
Now your next game, again, away from home at Glendale. What are you looking to improve?
I want us to be ready to go at the get-go. We started out a little bit flat, and Glendale's going to come at us hard with the press, but we're just excited. We started our season really slow, and this was our goal, was to do well in conference, so one game at a time.
Yep. Thanks so much. Best of luck to you. I'm here with Leah, freshman forward. Leah, great game today. You led the scoring in the match. How do you feel about your performance?
I feel that I just came out here and realized that we needed to keep our winning going and try to do everything I could for my team.
That's great. And you guys have been dealing with a lot of injuries. Talk me through that physical game you guys just played. Was it tough for you guys out there?
Yeah, coming into this game, our bodies were dead, but we just pushed through it and realized that we had to get this win.
Well, great. Best of luck to you guys. Thanks so much, Leah.
Thank you.
Back to you guys up at the booth.
We will see you next week or later tonight with the men's game.
Yes, stay tuned for the men's basketball game. Trying to come off of a 3-game losing streak and try to get things started today against Bakersfield. So cross your fingers for our boys in blue. For Will Pulley, I'm Trevor Angoni. We'll see you soon.
Have a great night.
To get into the rhythm.
Nelson sets up, past the great, and she lays it in for 2. Ramos with the drive. What a take by Ramos.
Yeah, she does. Nelson, fine job.